Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I want to tell you guys about the very first time that I ever felt short. If you're new to my channel, I'm a 6 foot tall woman and I live in Manhattan and I make YouTube videos about what it's like being a 6 foot tall woman. Okay, so this is a story about the very first time that I ever felt short. I've only had that experience maybe 4 or 5 times in my lifetime, being that I'm 6 feet. But the very first time that I ever actually felt short is probably the most memorable experience out of all of them. Okay, so I have a brother that lives in California. So the first time we went to California to go visit him, we went and drove to San Diego to go clubbing. I remember there was some strip in San Diego where we can go clubbing or whatever. So I noticed that in California, all of the tall women, this was back in the early 2000s, at that time, I have always heard that the tall women in the big cities wear stilettos. That's how it used to be. I don't see that anymore. But we were in San Diego downtown partying, and we were like standing on the sidewalk trying to get into a club. My brother's friend had actually forgotten her ID, so we were trying to like negotiate with the bouncer to let us in, and I think they did end up letting us into some of the clubs. And so we were standing on the sidewalk, and I just happened to look over and these 3 women walked past me. I'm pretty sure all 3 of those women were my height and they had on stilettos, so they just looked really tall. I guess it's because they caught me off guard or something like that, but they just walked past me, and in that brief second, it felt like I know this is gonna sound dramatic, but this is exactly what it felt like. It felt like all of the sound around me went quiet, and everything around them went blurry, and my vision just zeroed in on them. And all they did was walk past me, and it lasted literally like 2 or 3 seconds, but that's exactly what it felt like. And then as soon as they were out of my sight, like the noise went back to its normal volume, and then everything around them that had gone blurry just kind of went back to normal. And that's exactly what it felt like. And it was such a weird experience. And I'm like, whoa, so that's what it feels like to feel short. That was the first time that I've ever experienced what it actually feels like to feel short. Because again, I'm 6 feet tall, so that's something that doesn't happen often. It has happened a few times, but that was the first time that I ever had that experience. And I want to add, if I had a Napoleon complex, my Napoleon complex little angry person disease would have said to me, you felt short next to those women, so that means that they purposely tried to make you feel short. Well, you need to show them. And then I would have started following them, and as soon as they stopped, I would have gotten their face and tried to fight them, because people with Napoleon complex, they do things like that towards people who are 6 feet and taller. There might be some tall people out there where nobody ever bothers them. That does not change the fact that for some of us, the little angry people tend to hyperfixate on our physique, and sometimes it does escalate into harassment. Those things do happen. Whether you've seen them happen or not, does not matter. They do happen. If I had little angry people disease, that's what I would have done. I would have followed those women, and as soon as they stopped, I would have gotten their face and tried to fight them, because my Napoleon disease would have triggered my insecurity and my jealousy, and would have told me that I have to try and dominate them because I feel inferior next to them, which means they're purposely trying to make me feel inferior, which is not true. But that's why it's called a complex. So, it's something that's not properly functioning. But since I don't have a Napoleon complex, and I don't have a little angry man disease, and I don't have narcissistic personality disorder, and I'm not insecure and jealous, because I don't have those problems, I have the emotional maturity to recognize that just because I felt short next to those women, that does not mean that they did something to me. That does not mean that they attacked me. That does not mean that they did something to offend me. Those women did not even see me. All they did was walk past me. It was me who saw them. And that's how it always is. They get triggered by us even when we don't even notice that they exist. And then they randomly will run up on us and hurl insults at us because they're jealous. But I don't have little angry people disease, so I have the emotional maturity to recognize that just because I felt weird next to those women, that does not mean that they did something to me. That doesn't mean that they did something to me. But people with little angry people disease, they don't have the emotional maturity to recognize that just because they feel insecure next to someone, that does not mean that that person made them feel insecure. You're just insecure on your own. And you've probably had that problem since childhood, when that person wasn't even around during childhood. Anyway, so that was the very first time that I've ever felt short. Leave me your comments below. Make sure to like and share and subscribe. If you want to hear about the other few times that I felt short, same thing. They were kind of, an interesting experience. If you want to hear about those videos, let me know. Okay. Thanks for watching. Bye.